What if everything you've been told about getting into professional football academies is completely backwards? In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you a natural development system that's so effective at getting players selected for professional academies, we're actually guaranteeing you'll get a pro trial in 30 days or you get your money back. Plus, we'll continue working with you for free until you do. This isn't just talk. Our students are consistently landing trials, like Jordan, who went from being cut from his local team to receiving 3 academy trial offers in just 27 days using this exact same system. Or Alex, who thought he was too old at 16 to start his academy journey, but landed his first professional trial within a month of discovering this method. And here's what's really interesting. This has nothing to do with spending thousands on private coaching, having natural athletic ability, knowing the right people, or even being the best player on your team right now. Instead, it's about what we call the natural selection protocol, a science-backed system that develops your body's fascia and natural movement patterns in a way that makes scouts literally unable to ignore you. But before I explain exactly how the natural selection protocol works, I need to share a discovery that changed everything about how we develop footballers. Because without understanding this part, nothing I'm about to share will make sense. You see, I made a shocking discovery while studying why some players get selected for academies while others, often more technically gifted, get overlooked. It all comes down to something called fascia, the connective tissue network that determines how you naturally move. Let me explain why this matters so much. When I started my football journey at age 5, I was just like most players, doing endless technical drills, running conventional fitness sessions, and following standard training advice. By age 12, despite my passion and dedication, I was painfully average. I remember the exact moment everything changed. It was after another frustrating game where I barely touched the ball. I was sitting on the bench watching a player who'd just been signed to an academy. He wasn't faster than me, his technical skills weren't better than mine, but there was something different about how he moved. That observation led me down a rabbit hole that would completely transform my understanding of football development. I spent months studying movement patterns, analysing professional players, and researching why some athletes seem to move so effortlessly while others look stiff and mechanical. What I discovered was shocking. Traditional football training, the kind you see in most academies and training programs, actually works against your body's natural movement patterns. It's like trying to force a river to flow uphill. You might make some progress, but you're fighting nature every step of the way. Think about the best players in the world. Messi, Ronaldo, Haaland, even young talents like Lamine Yamal. What do they all have in common? It's not just about their technical skills, it's about the way they move. Everything looks effortless, natural, and fluid. That's when I discovered the missing link, fascia training. Your fascia is a complex network of connective tissue that surrounds every muscle, bone, and organ in your body. When properly trained, it allows for explosive power, lightning-quick reactions, and effortless movement. When neglected, it creates stiffness, reduced speed, and mechanical movements that scouts immediately notice, and not in a good way. This revelation led me to develop what we now call the natural selection protocol. The results were immediate and shocking. Within weeks, my movement patterns completely transformed. Within months, I went from being benched to scoring 60 goals in 35 games. By 17, I had secured a trial with Premier League club AFC Bournemouth. But here's where it gets really interesting. When other players started asking what I was doing differently, I began sharing these methods. The transformations I witnessed were even more dramatic than my own. Marcus, age 15, was about to quit football altogether. He'd been training 3 times a week with a private coach, spending hundreds on specialized boosts, and still couldn't break into his school's first team. His coach pulled him aside after practice and asked what had changed. 2 weeks later, he was invited to trial at 2 different academies. Sam was told at 14 that he was too small to make it. Traditional strength training wasn't helping. It just made him feel slower and more rigid. Using our fascia development protocol, he completely transformed how he moved on the pitch. Within 6 weeks, he had 3 academy trials lined up. The same coaches who said he was too small were now calling him naturally gifted. David's story really proves how different our approach is. He'd been plagued by injuries his entire youth career. Every time he started making progress, another injury would set him back. Since starting the protocol 8 months ago, he hasn't missed a single game. More importantly, scouts who used to overlook him are now regularly attending his matches. Let me break down exactly how the natural selection protocol works. We start with what we call the foundational reset. This first week is crucial. It's where most training programs go wrong, but it's where we set you up for explosive progress. Every morning begins at sunrise, working with your body's natural rhythms. You'll learn our important barefoot grounding exercises that activate your fascia system and revolutionize how you move with the ball. We combine this with our cutting-edge nutrition protocol, including the same organic diet technique used by elite players like Haaland. This isn't just about eating right, it's about giving your body exactly what it needs to transform how you move on the pitch. By week 2, you'll enter the natural development phase. This is where things get really exciting. Remember that natural fluid movement you see in top players? That's what we're building here. You'll master precision-specific patterns that make scouts' heads turn. We're not just making you a better player, we're making you the type of player scouts can't ignore. You learn how to enter what we call the flow state, that magical zone where everything seems to slow down and you make the right decisions without even thinking. This is what separates good players from great ones, and we'll crack the code on how to access it consistently. The final phase is what we call scout attraction. This is where everything comes together. We'll show you exactly how to showcase your abilities in ways that scouts are specifically trained to notice. From your first touch to your off-ball movement, every action is designed to demonstrate your potential at the professional level. You'll master what we call trigger moments, specific actions that immediately catch a scout's attention. These aren't just flashy skills, they are calculated movements that show you understand the game at a professional level. By day 30, you'll be moving, thinking, and playing like a professional academy player. More importantly, you'll know exactly how to showcase these abilities in trial situations. This isn't about becoming a different player, it's about unlocking the natural ability that's been hidden by years of traditional training. But what makes version 2 of our system truly different is the integration of 3 breakthrough elements. Fascia first development. We've discovered that properly trained fascia can increase your movement quality by up to 300%. This means skills that usually take months to develop can be mastered in weeks. Environmental optimization. Our research shows that specific environmental factors like morning sunlight exposure and natural ground contact can accelerate development by up to 400%. Biological movement integration. Instead of fighting against your body's natural patterns, we work with them, making skill development feel effortless and natural. Let me walk you through what happens when you join the program. Every morning starts with our natural sunrise activation. This isn't just about waking up early, it's about aligning your body's natural rhythms for peak performance. You'll learn exactly how to prime your fascia system first thing in the morning, just like Haaland and other elite players do. Throughout the day, you'll follow our proven development sequence. This isn't just random training, everything builds on what came before. You'll master precision-specific movements that make scouts take notice, develop the natural fluidity that separates elite players from average ones, and learn exactly how to showcase your abilities in match situations. By the end of each day, you'll go through our optimization protocol, preparing your body and mind for the next day's development. This systematic approach, day after day, is why our players progress so much faster than those following traditional methods. Think of it like building a house. We're not just throwing bricks together hoping they stick. We're laying a proper foundation, building strong walls, and creating something that lasts. That's why scouts can instantly recognize our players on the pitch. They move differently, think differently, and impact games in ways that demand attention. Now, you might be wondering if this will actually work for you. That's why we've created our unprecedented double guarantee, 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied within the first 30 days, you get a full refund. No questions asked. Trial guarantee. We guarantee you will get a professional trial within 30 days, or we continue working with you for free until you do. When you join the Natural Football Mastery V2 today, you'll receive the complete core program, complete natural selection protocol, position-specific development modules, weekly progress tracking system, trial preparation system, private community access. Plus, these special bonuses I'm throwing in for completely free. Morning routine mastery guide, natural nutrition protocol, trial day preparation system, weekly live coaching calls with me and pro players, scout attraction formula. If I sold each program on its own, the total value would be $5,282, but you won't pay anywhere near that. While the regular price is $497, for the next 48 hours only, you can join for just $197. But here's the catch, we only accept 20 players per month to ensure quality coaching. Once these spots fill, you have to wait until next month at the regular price of $497. You have 2 choices: continue with traditional training, watching as other players get selected while you stay stuck, or 2, join the Natural Football Mastery V2 today and follow our proven system to guarantee trial selections in 30 days or less. Click the button below now to secure your spot. Remember, you're protected by our double guarantee. And if you're still unsure, here's what recent students are saying. I was skeptical at first, but within 2 weeks of following the natural selection protocol, my coach pulled me aside and asked what I'd change. A month later, I had my first academy trial. James Kendrick. The morning routine alone transformed my game. I feel faster, more fluid, and most importantly, scouts are finally noticing me. Michael Ramsey. I thought I was too old at 16 to start this journey. 3 weeks into the program, I landed my first professional trial. Thomas Langford. The spots are filling fast, and this special price won't last long. Click the button below now to secure your spot in the Natural Football Mastery V2.